Thank you everybody for showing up. FuturesTrader71 is here. He will be showing you guys how to get his analysis pulled up on your EdgeProX. That will be later in the presentation. But for now, let's continue. Derivatives trading carries a high degree of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. So today, I'll be giving the normal intro to EdgeProX and the intro to EdgeClear, and then FuturesTrader71 will be showing how to load his analysis, and then we'll take a quick Q&A like we always do. So what is EdgeProX? EdgeProX is a all-in-one solution for active traders with MBO capabilities, volume profiles, and TPOs, native order flow tools, fully functional with 300 and plus indicators and studies, indicator layering, native to Windows, Mac, and Linux, runs on Rithmic, CQG, or IQFeed. All of these features are available for a low price of $34.99 per month. The other features it has is a heat map, volume imprint, volume profile, TPO and market profile, advanced DOM, simulated trading, replay mode, cross-instrument trading, cloud levels, Edge Pro line, OHLC lines, time and sales, and then again, like I said, 300 plus built-in studies and indicators. What is EdgeClear? EdgeClear is an independent futures brokerage created by traders for traders with an award-winning team, multiple clearing relationships, an experienced team and founder who you'll be hearing from today, FuturesTrader71, continuously innovating and building. We are trader inspired. So going into the webinar, Morad, I'm not sure if you want to take control here. I'll make you the presenter.
You should be able to see my screen, everybody. Just give us a yes if you hear me loud and clear and can see my screen well. There's a default workspace that comes with loading EdgeProX over time because we're continuously innovating and kind of changing things and adding features over time. That workspace is going to change for people who are loading a fresh new workspace. You can always go back to that and we can show you at a later date how to do that. We'll create a video for that. But let's say you saw something that I have on my screen that you wanted to have. So let's look at that. So there have been a lot of changes to the platform itself. We've added many features. The key ones are things like the fact that you can layer OHLC levels. Here, this is regular session. So for the regular session, I'm pulling the open, the midline, the previous close, the previous high and low, and so on. And also the IB, it's 60 minutes. So all of that is automatically pulled into my charts. But I also have another one that is showing the midline for the extended session. We also are able now to layer VWAPs. You can show a full session VWAP versus an RTH VWAP and things like that. The feature that was added with the with version 6.5.3, which is the current version, is the order history. So now you can see your orders and where they were on any given chart. You can turn on the order history and pull it into any chart, and if it's, as long as it's the same symbol, you can see what the order history is. So you can see my limit order down here as you see it here, and if I move it, there it is. Now you see how it's moved. You see also, well, these aren't filled, these are held orders, but as I'm moving this around, you'll see that that order is moving in that particular chart's time frame. So we're able to track what our trades have been doing and where we participated. But that's not what we're here for today. You know, the improvements are, there's constant change, and you can see that we have the cumulative delta that you can break up into the relative delta by size and so on. And let's say you wanted to import this. The first thing I want to show you is, and I did not bring this up before, let me just log in to our website. So you're all familiar with the website, edgeclear.com. All you have to do to get access to the latest layouts is to go to edgeclear.com and then go into EC subscription portal. You have to log in. Let me log in 1 second as a user. So here's my test user. I log in. So you'll notice a lot of changes here. I have an EdgeProX license that's active for a year, and I can go to the download section, which you have access to currently. There, I can download the latest and greatest version. The EdgeProX will update. We'll ask you to update every time there's an update. But you'll see this section called Special Downloads, and we can download these indicators and these layouts. So you can go ahead and click and download each one of these layouts. Okay, so you'll click through and download each one. And then the next step is because we don't want to mess with your current layout or screen, what we do is we create a new page, just a fresh blank new page. We'll call it FT71 charts. Okay, and it defaults to this analysis. The next step we need to do is go click up here, or File, Chart, Import Analysis. The shorter path is to click here, Import Analysis, and there are these 4 chart analyses that come from these pages down here. So let's say we want to import the order flow one today. We're going to click on it. This is after downloading it from that Your Subscriptions page. It's sitting in your Downloads folder. If you're in Windows, you click Open, and then it'll say, okay, what instrument do you want to associate this with? Doesn't really matter. Because chart analyses may include trend lines and horizontal lines and things like that, it wants to import it to the right instrument. But actually, if you import them into your instrument, you simply need to remember to remove those trend lines and so on, which no longer apply to your instrument. So I'm going to just call it something that doesn't exist below. So here's the import portion. Click import. Okay. First, locate your instrument. Click on the chart that you want to open the analysis in, and hit OK. So here's a blank chart. I'm going to change the symbol to the one I put into the import screen, and then I'm going to go back up here and then apply this new analysis. As soon as I apply the analysis, it loads the data, and boom, you have the same thing I'm seeing over here. Right? So we just imported everything, including the cumulative delta and whatever else is associated. You can do that with you could do that as many times as you want. And what I would recommend, because you're already working with your own analyses and you may have customized, is to bring in whatever's new into a new page, and then just browse around and look at, what are the settings, that exist here that you may want to try, and so on, and mess with them a little bit, and then decide whether or not you want to bring your stuff into this analysis or take portions of this analysis and copy it over. And the best way to do that is to really go into the analysis screen, is to go into the screen that's in question and switch. You like the way this zigzag is set up and you want to bring it into your charts. What you do is you just go and pull up the settings, go to defaults, save defaults, and then bring in that same indicator into your charts. Let's say I want to bring in the zigzag indicator into my active chart. Control T, zigzag right there. Okay. And then I just say apply defaults. And what it'll do is it'll bring in whatever defaults I have in this other screen. So you can have these same exact settings into your own analysis. So it's in here, it's just the settings don't match what's needed on this chart, so a little bit more customization is necessary. That's the process of bringing in these analyses. The other piece that I wanted to cover with you here quickly is that on the website itself, so back to our website. So if you're back at your subscription portal, this is your landing screen where you can control and update your profile and do all this stuff. One of the buttons up here is support videos. You can go to support videos. And if you scroll down to the charting section, you'll see these help videos that we've created for you to import a chart analysis or an indicator. An indicator is something like the relative volume indicator, which you see on my charts here. So the relative volume indicator is down here. This is a custom indicator, and what it does is it shows you in your time frame, in the 15-minute time frame, it's going back. The settings for this is 20 days. It's going back and figuring out what the mean or average volume over the last 20 days for that particular bracket, which is shown here in white. And then the blue is the actual. So we can immediately see that on the open, the first 15 minutes of the open today, the average over the last 20 days is about 70,000 contracts, and we only traded about 51,000. So the open was relatively quiet today. This is just an indicator that we've created that actually one of our members created that is custom, and the file for it is right here, relative volume indicator, and it's the ability to import it is described in this video. So this is all available to you. You just need to go and find what you're looking for, and we tell you how to import that indicator and add it to your charts. Okay, so there's a lot covered here, but overall, we want you to be able to see something or pass your analyses to your friends, to someone else. The way to do that is to go File, Chart, Export Analysis, and then you can export your analysis to wherever you want, to whatever directory you want. You give it a name, and you can just send your friend that file, and they can pull it into their own version of EdgeProX. Okay, that's all I had for you for today. Back to you, Giancarlo.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So you might actually need to help me with some of these questions because I think they were directed more towards you, but I'll take the screen back and we can
Sure.
go forward. All right. Thank you. You just share my screen here. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So somebody asked, is the expectancy measured per trader or volume based? I wasn't too sure on what they were referring to with expectancy. They said that this was more directed towards you. I wasn't sure if you knew that either.
Are they talking about the expectancy in terms of is that in the EdgeWatch app, or are they talking about the reporting features of EdgeProX, two different products?
I believe they're talking about if we generate a report. I thought there was expectancy in here, but if not, then I believe it's in EdgeWatch.
There should be expectancy in there. Now, I haven't done very much. Can you scroll down on this? Keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like expectancy. If it's on the screen, it's expectancy in terms of dollars per, it looks like dollars per trade.
Hmm.
If it's on the screen, we haven't dug too much into the trade metrics report on the platform. We'll get into that eventually, but currently we're not focused there. If you're talking about Edge Watch, its expectancy should be per contract on
Okay.
Edge Watch.
Cool. And then the other thing somebody asked was, will rotation zigzag bars on trigger chart and composite charts be created like in Investor RT? Definitions like in Convergent, or for Convergent, I meant to say.
So this so there's we added a zigzag oscillator here that gives somewhat of the same kind of thing where you can see how these rotations oscillate. I have not messed with this enough to know how it's performing. But at the end of the day, I just want to warn you that the intent of EdgeProX is to be a platform that sits on the side of the scale. Let's imagine a scale where on the left you have packages like Bookmap, Jigsaw, and others that are more scalping based. And on the far right side are packages like Investor RT, TradeStation, Multi-Chart Sierra, that sort of thing. We're really not, currently, we're not aiming to be replacing or competing with the far right side, which is a very broad package, right? You can look at weeks and weeks and weeks of data and do all these analyses. Although EdgeProX is capable of these, that's not where our focus is. Our focus is on the active trader, so we're looking to be somewhere left of middle. We don't want to be a specialized package like those other platforms, those scalping platforms that I had mentioned. But we also don't want to be a long-term package like Sierra and Investor RT and so on. The cost point for this platform is intended to be for someone who's looking for high quality, active trading type information with a lot of customization, but not to the level that we're looking to replace IRT or Sierra or anybody like that. At this cost point, that's going to be difficult to do.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the help. And this last one here I can show how to do. So if you go into the platform and if you're looking to show the difference between volume profiles and RTH versus ETH, you can just go to your EdgeProX active here. Let's load up a volume profile, which I did Control T. You just type in at the top there, import the study. And then I'm going to show historical volume profiles. There's going to be a max of 5 profiles, and they will show up on the left side, like so.
There are
And
a couple of ways to do this, right?
yeah, so what you can do is you can right click on the chart, and right now I'm showing extended data, and if I switch it, it'll actually update the indicator as well to show only RTH. And then you can also go into here, and I believe we have a setting in here that allows us to.
Well, here, let me, there's actually a different way. That's one way. I'm just going to grab the screen for a second to answer that and just show you a different way of doing that. Okay. Does everybody see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
So you can use the volume profile feature just like Giancarlo showed with Control T and type volume profile, and you could use a daily volume profile. You could use a volume profile And then there's also the volume imprint. So there are several things, several different ways to show this. If I was to look at what I'm using a profile that that is also part of the volume imprint. And each one of these has its own kind of unique settings. So there are many different ways to do the same thing. And this, again, you know, with these settings, you get your value area and so on. This, again, you just, if you want it to be RTH only, just show extended data. You can remove that. It'll recalculate and it'll show you what the profile is for the RTH session. So currently, this is RTH session only. The volume profile indicator, the volume profile indicator is, it gives you also the same kind of process, but a different way to do it. Remember, this platform is built on MotiveWave, and they have been developing things for a long time. And we're coming in and we are creating our own approach to things. So to answer that question, you can do it from the daily volume profiles, from the volume profile indicator, but you can also do it from the volume imprint and just turn on the profiles. So many, many different ways to do the same thing. Okay. Going back to you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for the help. I appreciate it. And so that was the last question in terms of people that submitted the questions prior. There are a couple of people that asked a few questions in the chat. So can I add or modify cloud levels in the chart? Now, I don't believe that you can modify them in the chart. I believe you have to do that in the CSV file itself.
That ability has actually been released. We just haven't documented it yet. So
okay.
If you pull up, why don't you pull up your cloud levels?
All right.
Okay. Yeah, just double click on it.
Okay.
Okay. So if you scroll down, there's probably, if you scroll down on the screen, there should be some levels somewhere.
Yeah, give me one sec. I
You
added
may
it
not.
to the MES, and it's only for the ES.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
So if you right click on cloud levels, the cloud levels indicator up top, yeah, you'll see edit mode. No, cancel that. Right click again.
Oh, here you
Edit
go.
mode. Yeah. This will allow you to modify whatever the cloud levels are doing. So you can pick them up and move them around and things like that. There you go.
Cool.
So you're able to adjust whatever is there. We still haven't documented this. This is brand new. We'll have to go through it in another walkthrough session in detail.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that is, you answered everybody else's question when you were talking about these questions here. So going forward, if anybody else has any other questions, you can visit our knowledge base at support.edgeclear.com, or you can email us at edgeprox@edgeclear.com. We also have a live chat, and you can call us at 773-832-8320. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. And Morad, we appreciate you here. Thank you for helping me out and for showing everybody how to do this.
Excellent. Thank you. Take care.